You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or find us on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
Tyler Abear.
Doug. We welcome you to episode 147 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook.com. You have Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
WNS Podcast for us on Twitter, and for the main site, WNS Source.
Gonna throw up.
We're also on Stitcher, so please check us out over there.
Yes.
There you go. So welcome to the show. Got a lot to talk about. Got a lot to cover.
Got a lot of throw up.
Yeah, dude. It's getting bad.
Daniel ate too much.
We need to stop going to Golden Corral
Nope.
for podcast family dinner.
Nope.
I'm okay with Tex-Mex, but apparently I can't control myself whenever
Food.
I go to a place like that.
So good.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
bad.
I'm gonna hit you so hard. It's gonna be bad. So I'm gonna throw up on my fist, and then I'm gonna punch you with it.
Then you're going to lick your fist.
No. So welcome to the show. Like I said, I got a lot to talk about. Hell in a Cell, Raw.
He's
gonna puke. So thanks for listening. Hope you guys had a great weekend. How are you guys doing? Y'all hanging in there?
doing pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah, doing all
How
right.
about you, Tyler?
I'm doing all right.
Able to pick up your copy of WWE 2K14?
Yeah.
Enjoying it so far?
So
for the
far.
short time that you gotten to play?
Yeah, not much. I haven't played that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about the game. Let's go ahead and
far,
dive
what
on
I've
into that.
discovered. Okay. I've played one match in the 30 years of wrestling or WrestleMania mode. And
know where you are.
First match is I'm sorry, I don't know if it's
Big
the
John
first.
Studd.
I don't know if it's the first WrestleMania. I don't know which WrestleMania it is.
Big John Studd
is Big John Studd
versus Andre the Giant.
Hey, you want to tell it? You know it.
I'm helping you out.
I know. And it's the body slam contest.
Yeah.
If Big John Studd wins, Andre the Giant will retire. And if Andre the Giant wins, he will get I guess it's $15,000. I don't remember how much money
Right.
it is.
That's like a lot more money back then.
Yeah. So I'm
That
saying
is quite a lot.
$15,000.
It's a lot of money now. I'll take it right
Yeah,
now.
Right.
But it was even more money back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But of John Studd's money, and you play as Andre the Giant, and you win, but you got to
You have to body slam him?
yeah. And if
Can't
you don't have
pin him.
enough damage, you don't really body slam him. Like you pick him up, but it's like hard to pick him up. But you just beat him up until you, and it's timed too. Like
That sucks.
yeah, it's like 6 minutes,
I hate stuff like that.
but it's it's enough time.
But the graphics look pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Gameplay's fun.
Well, it's not a challenge. Why would you bother playing?
Yeah,
To make it, it's still fun. I hate when you have to rush.
but that's the only match I've played in that mode. I just played just free match or just free play or whatever. I did Cesaro versus Darren Young,
Nice.
which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Upgraded Cesaro, his moves and stuff, so it's pretty neat. And there's things I'm still discovering. So far, what I've recognized, like the controls are still the same as last year. There may be some different things I probably haven't discovered. I also did, what was it? Dean Ambrose versus somebody, but Dean Ambrose was pretty cool. Like how he looks. It looks exactly like him, but maybe something's a little bit off. I can't tell what, but his like special moves and like his striking and all that stuff is like the straight up like it's him. Seth Rollins, like I was telling Doug, I know his finisher is that knee. He jumps off the rope and hits you with the knee. I don't know if they have that, but he does some sort of like, I don't know if it's some ninja thing where like he looks like he's about to do a stunner, but he jumps behind you and like, what's the name of that? Is that Osaka Cutter?
No, that's low.
I'm thinking of something else in. I don't know.
I don't know.
But he like his build looks exactly like him in real life. Now Roman Reigns, now that's a different story. He looks pretty thin and not like like big, like he is. Like he's like the littlest of all three of them. It is strange.
Well, I do have a question about this game, and it's about the created characters. How long until we see the next evolution of John Dynamite? Because I had completely forgotten about him until you mentioned it. John Dynamite, Tyler's one and only created character.
Even now, if you could see the look of glee on his face, just talking.
He's like, man, I am so happy to be talking about John
boy.
Dynamite.
That's my boy.
I'm so glad you guys brought that up. Let me tell you all about it.
That's my boy.
Yeah?
No, it's gonna be a little while before I create him. I'm gonna go through the other modes and play with the characters, kind of get some of the moves down. Then I'm gonna start creating him.
Got to go through trials.
Yeah.
As to what John Dynamite's actually going to look like.
Kapow!
Yeah, he kapow. Kapow.
What's his finisher?
It's sort of like Crossroads, but better than Crossroads.
What's it called?
I forgot the name.
Dynamite stick?
I don't have a name for it.
TNT?
That's what they need to
Kapow!
do. Kapow!
The lit fuse.
That's one thing they need to do. If like it's like a standard movie, you push a finisher.
What do you call the thing that you like hit the thing and then you push down on the handle and it like makes
the charge?
Fuse? Yeah, what is that called?
Little charge box. Like in all the Wile E. Coyote cartoons and stuff. Press it down on the handle.
Tell me he finishes all his promos with kapow.
Kapow. I don't know. I haven't put him in what's it called? Where you make your own storylines.
Kapow or kaboom?
Ooh, I don't know.
That's a good one. Tyler.
Kapow.
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 Yeah, like that.
We're just getting southern? Like
no.
Kaboom feels like kaboom, you know, but kapow feels like kapow. It's like more upbeat, you know.
Bang bang.
Kapow.
Kapow.
He could team up with Mick Foley. Bang bang. Kapow.
Right. I don't know. Is it would you prefer kaboom or kapow? Kaboom is like low resonating like destruction. Kapow's like I don't know.
He could sort of be like Monty Brown, you know, like he was like pow, so like kapow or something like that. Like
if he said pounce all weird.
Kapow.
Yeah. No, it was
like, pounce.
Did he say it weird or just Christian said it weird making fun of him?
They're both weird. Like how he said
it. He said pounce weird too.
Yeah. It was like
I know when Christian would make fun of him, he would do that like this cracking voice, like weird thing or whatever.
Kapow.
Kapow.
We should leave that up to our listeners.
He should team up with Monty Brown.
I'll make Monty Brown.
You need to create
Marcus Corvon.
You need to. Yeah. Do you think that's a cooler name than Monty Brown?
No, I like Monty Brown. Because Monty
I like
Brown.
how you accent the T on it. You're like Monty Brown.
Yes.
You need a Monty Brown. Monty Brown.
Monty Brown.
Create a wrestler to tag with John Dynamite.
Monty Brown.
From the Serengeti. The Serengeti.
I like him because he's ridiculous. Just how he says it. He just points at you the whole time. Period.
Point. With a P.
Yeah, and they'll be a tag team. They're making fun of me because I told them that I made John Dynamite back in like what was it?
He's
the
evolved.
game from PS1. Know Your Role.
I've known Tyler. I've known John Dynamite.
Dynamite. That's his son.
That's a fucking awesome name. Change it to Dynamite. I've known Dynamite for years because me and Aber always get together and like to play against each other in the newest game. And John Dynamite's been around for years and years, so I've always known him. You know.
Yeah.
I always thought he sucked. I always thought he was like cheap. Like Aber gives him like a bunch of like flashy like moves.
The mixture of RVD and like Jeff Hardy. Hey, that was back in the past. He's different now.
He's evolved.
Yeah, he's taking other people's moves.
Oh man, yeah.
We need to hear a promo from John
He had the Matt
Dynamite.
Hardy pants. He don't have Matt Hardy pants
He
anymore.
does have the fucking. Let me tell you something.
That's
about,
the original
if there's
attire.
If there's one thing I know about original attire, if there's one thing I know about John Dynamite is Matt Hardy pants and shitty white boy dreadlocks.
He had that twice.
He has shitty white boy dreads and he has shitty Matt Hardy pants.
Last year he had short hair.
What's he gonna have this year? Is it gonna grow out a little more? Are you gonna keep it short?
What kind of hair they have in the game? It's not the Guile.
We need some listener feedback on this. Is it kapow, kaboom?
Why stop there? We could open it up to be even more than that.
Yeah. What you got in mind?
I don't know. How do you feel, Abra? We don't want to. I know he's your baby. It's like we don't want to just.
We need to exploit this thing. For all
yeah,
it's worth.
we're gonna push your creation out into the world.
Well, okay. If Dynamite,
catching on.
John Dynamite cut a promo. What would he say? What would he do? What's his?
I'm Dynamite. Kapow.
What would he say? Like if he's cutting a promo? Like I don't know. So we're gonna get the people to.
I don't know. I think it would go something like, Daniel Bryan, you don't want to fuck with me because today when I went to the mall to get a new pair of Matt Hardy pants, they told me that shit ain't been cool in 15 fucking years. And then I went to the barber shop to get it faded up nice, and they're like, hey, white boys shouldn't have shitty dreads like that.
So check out the new and improved Dynamite. Kapow!
Hey, y'all can make fun of him all you want. He's cool.
And then when I showed up, we'll leave it up to the listeners.
Yeah. Give us your best John Dynamite promo.
We'll have to incentivize this.
Oh yeah. Give the folks a reason to do
you
this.
Okay with this, Aber? Are you okay with us putting your guy out there? Because I don't know. I know we got guys like Wife Swap out there. We got guys like Seth Rickson out there who you never know what the fuck's gonna come out of those dudes' mouths. So are you okay with
I'm interested to see how this goes, where like their minds go with all this shit.
Okay, so let's set some ground rules here.
Okay.
Well, first of all, we'll incentivize it. We'll say, are we gonna do one? One winner?
Sorry.
Let's do. Okay, we're gonna do a fucking contest.
New contest!
Yay! New contest.
Yay!
We're gonna know when to stop this one though.
Yes.
After like two weeks. God.
Are we gonna give them 2 weeks?
Sure.
Does it have to be a video or it could be an audio file?
Either or.
Okay. So I guess what we want from you is a John Dynamite promo from our listeners. What you think he would say? What do you think he would sound like? God, are you gonna die?
I got the hiccups.
Drink your soda.
Yeah, right. So, I guess we should be more. Okay, there are certain things we need from the promo.
Okay.
Number one, we need you to incorporate John Dynamite's finishing move into the promo somehow. Name a move.
Yes.
I'm gonna drop the insert finisher name on you.
Right. In the promo somehow. And we need a catchphrase.
Yeah, catchphrase.
Ow.
Ow.
I'm hiccuping. I can't help it.
You're not limited to kapow or kaboom. You can make up your own. So I guess
he hit the Dynamite.
And boom goes the Dynamite.
Okay, so we want a promo from you. Cut the promo on whoever you want as John Dynamite. It can be a video. You can send us a YouTube link. You can send us an audio file. We want the name of John Dynamite's finisher incorporated into the promo, and we want a catchphrase of some sort incorporated into the promo. So I guess some ground rules is, I guess we're going to give away a t-shirt to the winner.
Yeah.
So some rules up front. We love all the dudes who've gotten shirts from us, but there's no need to enter the contest if you already have a shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, you can if you just want to, like, if you have something that you think is so fucking hilarious that you just want to share with us, we will gladly take any entries you have. But the prize is a shirt, so if you already have one, no need to enter. How long are we gonna go on this? 2 weeks?
We'll give them 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
To
Two or
qualify.
3. 2.
Yeah, 2 is good.
Yeah.
You got to come to our Facebook page, the WNS podcast.
Yes.
One, not WrestlingNewsSource.com. Come to our Facebook page with a YouTube video or an audio file for us to look at. If you don't, then we're not looking everywhere else. So, not that we like to. You're disqualified. I mean, just we need the link on our page, so we don't have to look. We don't need to look on like YouTube and Twitter and the other Facebook page. Like,
make it easy for us.
Yes, come to our page with a video, however long you feel. Needs to have the name of the finisher. Needs to have a catchphrase of some sorts. As long as you want, cut it on anybody you want. We want to hear what you think John Dynamite sounds like. And also, we're all out. We don't have any size larges. So if that's like a deal breaker for you and you don't want to put in the work,
we do still have medium and extra large, right?
I think we have everything but large.
Okay.
I think.
So you can just, you can go a little bit larger. That'd be fine. Or smaller
Yeah, I should have
if you think
checked
you
on
can rock
the
it.
exact. I know we don't have any larges. I think we have everything else.
Okay.
I think we have small, medium, XL, and double XL.
Cool.
We may have a triple XL. Does that sound like something we would have? Did we order any triple X?
I think we ordered at least one.
We may have one. I don't know. We may not have triple X, and I know we don't have a large, but we have everything else. So
there you go.
If you want a shirt, send us a promo.
Yeah.
On our page. If you already have a shirt, we would love to hear from you guys. Lawson, we love you. Of course, we want to hear your fucking Red Robin. We love you. Of course, we want to hear it. Tasty Bobby. Yeah. Of course, we want to hear your guys' fucking promos if you feel like doing it. But
you don't have to.
But you don't have to. You're dismissed. No. But you're not getting anything because you guys already have shirts. So.
Yeah.
Nothing but our admiration and love. So, which you already have. So
Yeah. So there you go. So yeah. New contest.
All right.
This one's going to be much shorter than the last one we had.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. The deadline is 2
what
weeks.
my guy is going to say and how he's going to cut a promo.
They may be listening to this at different points, so we need to set a date, like an official date. What would...
Well, where are we now? We're at the end of October. Today is the 29th. So, because we're recording this on a Tuesday night, just lift the page up. There you go. So, by November 12th, we need your submissions.
Yeah, November 12th at least by 6 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
November 12th by 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
There you go. So there you go. Best of luck to anyone who wants to participate. So certainly hope to hear back from some of y'all.
Hey, it doesn't matter where you live. I'll ship to wherever. You don't have to be in the U.S. I'll ship where fucking ever. Just be really clear about your address. Because I've shipped internationally before, and they have like characters that don't exist here, and I'm like, wait, is it like this, or is it like? Just be super clear about your address. I'll ship fucking wherever.
There you go. So best of luck to everyone. Chance for you to win a very limited edition WNS podcast T-shirt. So there you go.
Yeah.
But moving on into what happened over the weekend, we got to watch Hell in a Cell. Didn't watch it in our normal places this time.
No.
So circumstances came up, but we were able to catch it, watch it, and enjoy it. It was not too bad. The kickoff show, due to Curtis Axel suffering an injury over the week, they said it was a freak accident, injured both of his hips. So
sounded like he just knew that he was gonna get the belt taken off of him. And
my hips! I don't know how this happened.
Did they say how or no? They didn't.
Oh, did we specify before? Are we gonna do one winner or what are we doing? We didn't really say, and people are gonna hammer this on us later if we don't fucking.
Since it's such a small thing, let's just do one winner.
Do one winner, okay.
Yeah.
One winner. We're majority rule. Two of us have to give the vote to somebody, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Moving on.
So one winner for.
I'm gonna clear it
our
out because I don't want
contest.
anybody like bitching at us later.
One and only one. So
there's only one John Dynamite. So
yeah,
I mean,
there can only be one voice of John Dynamite. Kapow! Johnamite.
Good.
With Johnamite.
Johnamite.
Yeah. I feel like that's some sort of cream that they would sell.
Or that's his like finish. He just hit the Johnamite.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So the kickoff, due to Curtis Axel being injured over the week, they had to switch things up, and they put Damian Sandow against Kofi Kingston.
Which is that was weird because we knew. We felt like Big E was going to take the belt off of Curtis.
This threw the night all over the place.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, during the kickoff, Biggie Langston, challenged Dean Ambrose to a fight, and Ambrose accepted or whatever, or the match was made official for later on in the night. So, but we did get to see Damian Sandow going up against Kofi Kingston. Sandow got the victory on this one. It was just something to help pass the time because it's the kickoff show. We got to have something to show. So, yeah. So moving on into Hell in a Cell itself, we kicked off the pay-per-view with the triple threat tag team match. Cody Rhodes and Goldust going up against the Usos and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I thought this was an excellent start to the pay-per-view. It was a very exciting matchup. All three teams did just a great job in this matchup.
Yeah, I liked it too. I liked that. Well, like I said last week, I'm glad these three teams were in it, even though it was kind of weird with like two face teams and just one heel team.
Yeah,
but I thought it worked for me.
And it's also kind of odd having three teams but only two people in the ring. I know that's the standard of what they do, but that's just a weird premise for me.
You would think that it would be three in the ring,
right? And then they can just tag their respective partner.
Yeah.
But, what do I know? But Doug, what did you think about this matchup?
Yeah, I thought it was very good. These guys all have like really excellent chemistry with each other, it seems. The Usos have had all those really great tags with the Shield. Goldust and Cody have had those really great tags with the Shield. I guess it would only make sense to throw all these guys in together and see what they can do, and I think they delivered in a big way. Probably one of my favorite, maybe my favorite match of the card. I don't know. Definitely top couple of matches on the card. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, these guys.
I really enjoyed that superplex off the top turnbuckle onto the outside on top of everybody because you don't really see that in the WWE. So it was a good treat. I enjoyed it. It was a very strong matchup. Very good way to kick off the pay-per-view. But Cody Rhodes and Goldust ended up getting the victory, retaining their tag team titles.
Kind of hate Cody's finish, though.
Oh, yeah? The Crossroads.
So weird to me.
I know they've been in this position for a while.
You're just defending it because John Dynamite does a version of it.
No, I wasn't going to say nothing about that. But, okay.
But since you brought it up.
No, I'm... I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
The Usos that I never thought. Oh man, I'm totally. I can't think what I was gonna say.
Something about the Usos.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the Usos are definitely getting over with the crowd. They've got really good chemistry. They work well as a team. And the Shield have done their part for weeks on end.
I'm glad that they got to this point though, because for a while I think that they were going nowhere.
Mm-hmm. So it's looking the tag division starting to look bright again. So not too bad. But next up we got a promo with the Miz coming out asking for a fight with Bray Wyatt. He said he had been told by Vicky Guerrero earlier in the night that he was not cleared to compete. But Miz says, well, I want to fight anyways. And so he went looking for one, calling out Bray Wyatt. He ended up getting attacked by Rowan and Harper. And then Kane returned. He came out, chased off the Wyatt family, and then attacked Miz. Gave him a chokeslam, much to the delight of the crowd. So what did you guys think about the return of Kane?
It's fine, I guess. I don't know. It wasn't like a match or anything. It was just kind of
just a little segment.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I don't know. Apparently the crowd was chanting "We want Kane," which I couldn't believe. But, I'm a guy. I mean, I liked Kane when he was tied to Bryan just because I thought they were fun together.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a Kane fan like in general. So I was like, I can't believe people are Kane. I mean,
I was wondering why, but then
is it leftover love from the Hell No stuff?
No, I think it dawned on me the other day because whenever we went to Raw, you see the stagehands putting up the pyro on the corners for whenever he does the pyro. So I think that was sort of a giveaway causing the fans to chant "We want Kane," because they were like, "Oh, they're getting set up for that. The four corners of pyro." So, and I'm guessing they weren't going to put Brodus Clay in there and have his pyro go off, but
Never know.
yeah. So, so Kane returns and attacks The Miz. So that's about it. Next up, we got an impromptu matchup that stemmed from SmackDown. Fandango and Summer Rae going up against the Great Khali, or just Khali, and Natalya. This was just sort of
I walked in on this match.
Yeah, this was kind of just a time killer. Fandango and Summer, it was a chance for Summer Rae to have her match debut or whatever on Raw. She's been performing on NXT, but this was her, WWE, I guess, debut. Tizzle. Yeah, sure.
Hashtag HB Shizzle.
God, no.
NX Tizzle.
Stop.
NX.
But yeah, so this was just sort of a time killer matchup. Summer Rae ends up getting the pin on Natalya. Anything to take away from the matchup?
Nope, all that happened. What you just said, it happened.
Everything happened.
I witnessed it.
All right, so there you go. Next matchup, we got to see Big E Langston going up against Dean Ambrose. And one of
How does he not get the powder in his eye when he's slapping like that?
Is that like a ball? He has like a ball of it.
It's just a little powder bag that he throws.
Unless he doesn't do this.
Well, maybe it's whenever he's yelling, his breath kind of pushes the powder away or something.
He doesn't close his eyes because I watch.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's still impressive. Or maybe it does and it just doesn't bother him that much. I don't know.
I enjoyed this match.
So fine. I did as well. Yeah. I thought it was
Are you sure that's what it is? It's not like chalk?
There's no telling.
It's baby powder.
I don't know what the fuck it is. It's whatever.
It's cocaine.
Cocaine. That's why he likes it. He doesn't close his eyes.
Dude, I don't know what it is.
He's hyped for the match.
Yeah.
That's why I was like,
It's that workout chalk they put on their hands. I don't know. So,
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Right. Or what it's supposed to be.
I know what cocaine is.
Yeah. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. So, anyways, going into the matchup, it was an impromptu matchup. It was, made, sort of on the fly. I felt for the time of preparation that they were given, they did well enough. It was interesting to see. It was really kind of odd hearing all these people talk down to Big E Langston, calling him rookie, newbie, new guy, like all that. It's like, y'all, the Shield's only been around for a year, so but I guess they're past that 1 year mark, so they're not rookies anymore. But anyways, but Tyler, what did you think about the matchup?
I thought it was enjoyable. I didn't know if necessarily I wanted to see it at first. Well, I mean, it was a better match if you think about it.
Definitely an upgrade
than Axel. I think I wanted to see the one with Axel just because I felt like he was going to take the belt.
Right.
But this one was actually, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The time where they both, what was it? They're about to clothesline each other. They just ran into each other.
Yeah.
And what's it? Ambrose's tooth.
Their heads collided.
But what cut him? It was his tooth.
I think it was the tooth. I'm not sure. But yeah, like Tyler said, heads collided and Langston required stitches under his right eye, and Ambrose had to get stitches underneath his chin.
Had to put gloves on.
That's right. So, Doug, what did you think about the matchup?
I thought it was solid. Like Tyler said, it's definitely an upgrade from
I can do it, Paul.
Yeah, from Curtis Axel, that black void of charisma. But yeah, I mean, it was.
Have you been reading Conan's tweets?
No.
They've been going back and forth.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Him and Axel?
Curtis Axel and Conan.
Wow.
And he was saying, God, this guy's got like no charisma whatsoever.
Like negative charisma.
Yeah, and Axel's like, oh, big talk from someone like you, and blah blah blah.
And he's like, you're not like your dad or something like that.
So, I think, I'm not sure, but it ended up being Conan saying, dude, I don't have a beef with you personally. I'm just saying you have no charisma.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't he doesn't even have he doesn't have a character even.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the Intercontinental Champion.
You believe in me, right, Paul?
He's a Paul. Besides being a Paul Heyman guy, and besides being the Intercontinental Champion, and besides being the son of Kurt Hennig, name something about him. All those things that don't have anything to do with him or his character.
Something that makes him stand out.
Besides being Perfect's kid,
right.
Besides being a Heyman guy, or besides being a champ.
Genesis of
are you gonna do Genesis?
When he comes out to the ring, he puts his arms to his chest and acts like he's ripping off a shirt, and then he points.
Yeah, but he does that even kind of shitty.
Yeah. So here's what the
Nexus of the Genesis
of McGillicuddy. This moment right now. Here's what it says. WWE Intercontinental Champion Curtis Axel responded to Conan's recent remarks that Axel was boring and has no personality. Axel tweeted, well, what do you know? It looks like Conan 5150 is trying to gain social media popularity by talking about a real superstar. And Conan tweeted, I don't give an F about social media popularity. I don't know you and have nothing. Okay. And have nothing against you, dude. You just have zero charisma.
Straight up. Tell him the truth.
Straight up now. Tell me, is there really one on you? I mean,
whatever. We've been saying he's devoid of charisma for like months.
Yes, we have. So, I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, the match was solid. I thought they would have they could have got like a really cool visual out of Big E having the blood kind of like running down his face. I don't really think they accomplished it, but they could have.
Well, they're still sort of shying away from that.
Right.
They did talk about it on commentary, which was a surprise.
Well, it's on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Which is one thing. And I understand if you're going to say, hey, guys, you guys are not allowed to blade anymore. We don't blade anymore. That's not what we do anymore. But if it happens naturally, I don't think you have to stop the match.
Yeah.
And that's what they do on Raw. I understand that's like primetime TV or fucking whatever. Is it primetime? I don't know what the fuck that. I don't even know what that means. I'm talking out of my ass.
Primetime is like after 6 p.m., I think. It's considered the time that people watch TV the most.
Right.
Because they're home from work. They've already eaten dinner. So that would be the prime time to watch TV.
Well, I mean, at least the start of it is in prime time.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but I don't care. But I'm fine with a no finish. I don't mind Ambrose taking the walkout because it's the first match they had. It's not like they had a establishing feud, So.
Yeah, and before the matchup, Dean Ambrose was like, I shouldn't even waste my time with you. Like, who are you to just challenge me for a match? So for him to take the count out, be like, you know what? You're not worth it. I'm done. I'm out of here. And it's sort of it could be considered a coward's way out, but it's also the champion saying, "Oh, I don't have to stand for this." So
I mean, it's privilege of the champ. I mean,
mm-hmm. So
I remember the first time I ever saw like champs take the count out was DiBiase and IRS when they had the tag belts and they were just like, "Fuck this, we're out of here." And I was like, "Oh, those fucks! They just left with the belts." Damn, I was a kid, but I was like, "What?" But that always stuck with me,
Mm-hmm.
They can't do that.
They were just like, "Fuck this, we're out of here."
Yep. See ya. So Big E Langston ends up getting the victory via count out, and both of them required stitches following the collision. So a pretty strong matchup. I enjoyed it. But next up, we got to see CM Punk going up against Ryback and Paul Heyman in a Hell in a Cell match.
Paul Heyman can't get to the ring.
No, he could not. Whoever was driving,
he's fired.
That video. There are a lot of people probably getting fired that night.
Wasn't there a guy who walked in front of the camera before that too? And they're like, "Oh, that guy's fired."
Yeah.
The guy who couldn't get the fucking thing to work is like, "Oh, he can't drive it."
Yep.
Dude's fired.
Yep. So many people just getting fired that night. It's crazy. But yeah. So the match before the match gets underway, CM Punk enters the ring. Ryback comes in and stands by the cell. Paul Heyman comes out on a lift, but they have so much. I'm interested to see how it's going to look on the DVD. If they're going to show the whole time of them scrambling,
I doubt that.
Or where they're going to edit, like how much they're going to chop up and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting.
By the time that guy walks in front of the camera, they're going to cut right before.
All right.
If anything, they'll just focus in on him and like him trying to act like nothing's wrong.
Right.
Unless they see him go.
Well, he was like swaying back and forth to make it like people look at him and not the guy who was like driving.
What do I do? They just told me how to work this today. So, but
what's that fucking? You know how like that Austin Powers movie where he's got the little fucking thing and it's like
stuck in between the walls.
That's kind of like how they were moving that thing.
Oh, maybe if I go this way. Oh, wrong way. Hang on. All right, let's back up. Hang on. Whoa. Oh, hey, hang on. Oh. So, anyways, Paul Heyman ends up being lifted onto the top of the cell as he was cutting a promo saying he's the best in hell. He's Satan. He's all these things. Matchup gets underway. You know, they have their chairs, their tables, kendo sticks, all the toys that came out to play, as JBL likes to call them. So, what did you guys think about the matchup?
I'm just ready for this to be over. Like, honestly, I wasn't feeling it very much. I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, I think it would probably say below average for me. You know, I just didn't have a ooh wow kind of moment. You know,
No.
You know, I know they're in a PG world, so you can't really do a whole lot that, you know, I don't know. It's just, I didn't like it. Yeah, I didn't think it was all that great.
Yeah, I felt the same way. And I felt like Doug said something during that night. Was like, someone's going to be, taking a bump or something off the cage or something through the cage.
Yeah, I just thought like.
I felt like that too.
Yeah, I mean, I just felt like, well, why go up there if you're not going to, do whatever. But then we debunked it immediately whenever you were like, well, they did the. Then we were talking about how like last time Ryback and Punk had that cage match where Ryback was like scared shitless to be on top of the cage.
He didn't get up on top of there at all.
Yeah.
I'm not going back up there, man. But so
I'll fuck that. Put Paul up there.
Yeah,
I'll take the pin and I'll stay on the ground.
yeah. So CM Punk gets the victory, pinning Ryback. Ryback loses yet another pay-per-view match. Just sad. And then then Punk crawls up to the top of the cell and beats Paul Heyman with a kendo stick, gives him a GTS, and solidifies his legacy. That was the defining moment of his career. So yeah,
yes,
that's a sad moment if it is. Next up, we got to see another impromptu matchup, Los Matadores going up against the Real Americans, and this match was enjoyable. I didn't have any problems with it. Los Matadores ended up getting the victory.
Yeah, totally fine.
El Torito gets the victory.
Well, no,
I know.
Okay, so yeah. Next up, we got to see Alberto Del Rio going up against returning John Cena. In case you didn't know he was returning. I don't know. I mean, I knew how the match was going to style out. I knew that Alberto Del Rio was going to target the arm.
I don't know. I felt like he did target the arm, but didn't target as much as he usually does.
Right.
To people.
Okay.
Is that just me, or is that?
I don't know. How about you, Doug?
No, I think the focus was there.
Mm.
Like you said, we knew that stylistically what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all felt as much that Cena was going to win anyway. I don't think there was any real surprises.
No.
I guess we sort of expected them to take the other road with Sandow cashing in and maybe giving Cena some more much deserved time off.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not what happened, but I didn't have any problems with the match. I think they were probably playing it safe. You certainly want to have a safe match coming back from injury like that, but I don't think this was bad. I just think that they could have ratcheted up the intensity a bit and still work a safe match. And I don't really feel like they did that. And I'm a guy who likes Cena a lot, and I'm a guy who likes Del Rio a lot. And I know that's not always popular opinion on both of those guys, but I felt like they had more to give here than they did. But I don't know, just some flaws in psychology. I didn't like Cena like doing the shoulder tackles on the hurt arm. Kind of bugged me a lot.
I don't work through it. He could do it.
Well, again, like what I'm saying is like you can
use the other arm.
What I'm saying is like I'm not a guy who feels like just because you're selling an injury or have an injury, you can't use the limb that's hurt. But I feel like you have to show some effect of it, and it felt like, he shook it off like pretty easily.
Yeah, especially when he was hoisting the belt over his head. He did that with pretty much all authority. Like nothing's wrong with his arm there.
Now, I mean, I think people pick on his, I had problems with his selling in this match. I think people pick on his selling more than he necessarily deserves in general. I think there's kind of double standards. I think there are a lot of guys who are quick to drop selling and just go with whatever that people they aren't as quick to call it out. But
yeah, but the problem that I have with it that he does, and yeah, you're right, there are other wrestlers out there who are quick to drop the sell, but he does it with such intensity when he drops it. It's like he's either a dead corpse just laid out on the ground, completely dead, and then he just, boom, pops up. He's knocking you out. He's totally fine. Nothing's wrong with him. Pin. Yay, I'm going to run around. I'm going to run. I'm going to do laps. I'm going to give high fives to everybody. I'm okay.
Isn't that the same thing with Hogan, though?
Yeah. I mean, it's not an uncommon thing. It just that drives me nuts whenever he does that. Because, dude, he's been working your arm the whole night, and you're raising your hand fist pumping or something, acting like nothing is wrong. Just wince or something. Give some sort of sign. I'm doing it, but oh man, I'm gonna be feeling it tomorrow. Just anything, and that goes with any wrestler out there. Just it bugs the hell out of me when he does stuff like that. He'll be completely dead, then he'll do one offensive move, pop right back up, go for a pin. And it's just I'm like.
See, I feel like that's an exaggeration. I'm absolutely certain that you could pick out specific instances that happened.
Yeah,
but I feel like I could call that on fucking 80% of the roster at any given time. And maybe there's something to say for he's Cena, so maybe you expect more. And I think that's a fair argument to make. But I do feel like his selling gets picked on. But to be fair, like I said, I had a problem with his selling in this match.
And I think the reason why it gets picked on so much is because he rarely loses. It's it doesn't matter who you put him up against. He's gonna find a way to win. He's gonna battle through the odds. He'll battle one-handed. He'll beat a 100% guy with one arm. He's John Cena. He can do no wrong. So yeah, it's what's the point of even having him face anyone? He's not going to lose clean unless it's someone like The Rock or, something like that. It's just not going to happen. They're refusing to they're not building new talent. This was a chance. This night and Monday night were both opportunities for them to start building new stars, and they did not do it. They went with what they're safe with, what they think draws ratings, and that's what they went with. And
by this and Monday night, do you mean Del Rio and St. El specifically? Or
well, yeah, I think this was
Would you have been? How would you feel about Del Rio? It's just a straight out Del Rio victory here with no cash in.
I would have been fine with a disqualification. He doesn't have to flat out beat Cena. But for Cena to be out for 2 months with what they said was going to be a 6-month injury, come back, not even have a match, just say, "Oh, we're going to give you a number 1 contender title match." And then for him to go and win it, it's just I do not get it. It does not make sense to me. Can you take anyone else from the roster and say, okay, you're going to take two months off, and your very first match back is going to be a championship match?
Well, Swagger. I mean, he got his first. Well, not his. I guess it wasn't his first match. His third match back. He was in the cell.
Okay.
Swagger had been off much longer than 2 months.
But where is
I don't necessarily think that's an apples to apples comparison. I'm just saying it's similar.
Right. But I mean, say Christian, when he returned here a few weeks ago, or I guess not a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months, he came in and was mid card instantly. Like,
I feel like guys get I feel like returning guys get hoisted right into title programs all the time though.
And that's fine, but for your very first match, you've been out for 2 months, and they're just saying, "Oh, well, look, I know we have this whole locker room that we could have been building in this storyline. Like after Del Rio was done with RVD, I know we could have had someone else step up, and that could have given Cena a little more time off. But we're just going to go the safe route. We're going to say, hey, Cena, you're good to go, right? Okay, hop on in there. We'll give you the title. That'll boost some ratings for SmackDown whenever you show up there." It's just...
well, I mean, like, I agree that he came back too soon.
Mm-hmm.
My problem is more so that, like, I think it's a health risk, and I don't want to see a guy crippled, like, permanently.
Right. No, I don't want to see Cena injured. I have nothing
to play. But, like, in interest of fairness of what you're saying, who do you put in Cena's spot? Who is a credible babyface main eventer?
I mean, they could have done a tournament. You could have given. They had some time.
You got Henry out, who is his face right now. He's out.
Mm.
You got Sheamus out, who's a babyface right now. I mean, is Christian back out again?
Yeah.
I mean,
what? No.
So
he's not out with injury. He just hadn't been wrestling.
well, I mean, who's your credible like babyface challenger? I don't know.
And that's this brings back to the problem that we've discussed several times, is that they don't have anyone who they can get into that next level.
They don't, but they could have added like some. Yeah, you probably wouldn't count this, but I mean, if they're gonna, they could do a tournament thing. That's a good idea. But
well, do you really? I'm sorry, Abraham. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was about to say Ziggler, but I mean that's not like that's just someone to throw in there.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Do you think it's strictly short-sighted, or do you think this is step one of grander plans? I mean, do you think, because there are like a few things I kind of wanted to address about what you said. One being like, it is the World Heavyweight Championship, and Cena, the next night on Raw, makes specific instances to SmackDown and like that, those kind of implications.
Right. He's there to boost ratings, try and get people to tune in.
But I don't know. Do you think it would? So you think there is no grander plan that the only reason he wasn't hoisted back into, say, a main event picture with Randy Orton is simply because Orton already had, or there was already a WWE title program going on? You think that's the only reason he wasn't hoisted?
I'm confused.
Like, do you think there's no grander plans involved here, and that he would have just as soon been shot into the WWE title picture, except for that they already have an established program?
Yeah. They already have that. But
I mean, I know, but you're saying that, I don't know. Well, what do you feel about a missed? Not to jump too far ahead, but what do you feel about a missed opportunity about Sandow? You said, I mean, like, to be honest with you, I mean, like, I know, like, people want to love Sandow, but like, I don't feel there was no loss there. I mean, like,
no, he had a great showing, but if I would have been in charge of that, I would have had him attack, just like he did to start, except he didn't cash in. He could have said, your time is, he could have made fun of him. Your time is up, my time is now, something like that. He could have, and they could have strung that along as Cena's preparing for his match against Del Rio, which presumably is going to be at Survivor Series. He could have had to been looking over his shoulder, watching out for Sandow the whole time, leading into it, saying, if Del Rio doesn't get the job done, watch out for me.
Right. But I mean, like, specifically in the context of you saying they had two opportunities to get another guy over besides Cena, and they didn't choose to take either one. I mean, okay, and we kind of discussed Del Rio a bit, but I mean, like, specifically criticism of them choosing not to let him cash in, because if they didn't want him to lose the case, they could have did exactly what you just said.
Right.
I don't think that's short-sightedness. I think that was according to plan.
Yeah.
So you feel that it was a loss? Because I don't feel like it was a loss to not have him like be champ. Because to be honest, like, I know people like want to like the guy and people do like the guy, but I don't feel has shredded credibility. I don't feel like he's doing like this groundbreaking work that needs to be acknowledged. I wouldn't buy him as a champ, to be honest with you.
Right. That's why you take the time to have him sort of build up to that. Like, you know, we've talked about this several times. Why did they book the Money in the Bank winner to lose? You know, you need to have him looking strong. Like, it doesn't matter when the champ is ready or not. He could be 100%, or he could be on the brink of, you know, a career-threatening injury. You know, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to win.
Yeah. But also another thing that I know, why would you give someone that briefcase if you don't think that they're not going to win or whatever like that? But I feel like they can't always give someone the briefcase and always win.
Yeah.
And they proved that with Cena.
Right.
But
Cena was a great guy to establish it.
Yeah.
It's not 100% with, because he could afford it.
Yeah.
I think maybe, like, also in the case of like what happened with Swagger is maybe you think you're going to get a guy there and maybe it doesn't work out. I don't think it's 100%. I don't think that you can safely say just because we gave this guy the case in 6 months we feel like, I mean, plans change, and you know what, he may reveal himself to not be the guy. You know what I mean? So I don't think that it's necessarily fair to say that you don't put the case on the guy unless he's going to be your guy. I mean, I think you should feel pretty certain about it, and I think they probably did at one point, but they probably feel like it didn't work out. And I don't have any problems with Sandow. I think I like Sandow better than a lot of guys that are championed a lot higher and a lot hotter on the internet, but I still don't feel like he was. I don't feel like that was a missed opportunity to make a guy right there.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think even having him demolish Cena in much more of a match than traditionally is a cash-in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did get the Ziggler Del Rio thing, which was a hot little match, but traditionally it's more of just taking advantage of a fallen guy.
Yeah.
So even with that, to try to establish a guy, I don't feel like it was much of a loss with Sandow. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying that it was a loss for Sandow. Yes, he ended up losing the matchup.
Well, not for Sandow in general. I mean, I don't feel like we were lost. Like, God damn it, Sandow would have been terrific if they had just given him the opportunity. I don't feel like that. I don't know that that's true at all, or fair to say.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm saying, you know, build that. You know, take that opportunity to build, not just say, oh, he's just gonna, you know, attack him once and that be it.
Well, I felt like they maybe thought they were going to, and then realized they had paired him with Cody and realized they were higher on Cody, and Cody had a higher upside to him. But then they settled him in the tag team. It's a weird thing, right? Because I could see them saying maybe Cody takes the belt off Del Rio, and then you have Sandow cash in on Cody, and that's how you play that out. I can see that, but I don't. But then again, I don't think Cody is as hot as he is right now without the angle they went with, which puts him in a tag team.
Right.
So I don't know. How Sandow would be like a guy. I feel like we are building something. I think like Cody is like infinitely more established than he has. I feel like they're building guys, maybe not necessarily in the way that you'd want as a top guy, but he'll be there eventually.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you know, for right now, once Del Rio's done, who are they going to set up against? You know, Cena, assuming that Cena wins. Well,
I think it's a double-edged sword. It's the same thing. If you keep the belt on Del Rio, it's who do you put against Del Rio?
Exactly. It's like they haven't built anyone, and it's just, I don't know, it just drives me nuts.
Well, see, that's my larger point. They haven't built anyone, not that they put Cena like back over. I mean,
well, that just, you have a guy who's 100% who focuses on the arm, going up against presumably, due to quote injuries, a one-armed man.
Not quote. I mean,
well,
that's legit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that, the injury wasn't fake. What I was referring to is, in the story, Del Rio's just going to be attacking him, taking out the arm. So it's basically, I don't know. I appreciated the fact that Cena would sell some of it, like whenever he tried to lock in the STF and he only had one arm trying to get it, and you knew that he couldn't bring his other arm around. But it's just like, bringing back to my original point, like he'll be totally fine for stuff like that, or he'll be selling it, and then 20 seconds later he's bouncing around like nothing happened.
Well, like to bring it like to real life, if the dude can nut the fuck up and come back from that injury in 2 months, who's to say like you couldn't buy him like fucking powering through that fucking match?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a point. I'm not saying you have to believe
I mean,
that.
you're right.
The dude,
it's just.
I mean, people like kind of hate him because he's a superhuman, but he kind of is actually a fucking superhuman. I don't know, like.
He's prototype.
You got no hand.
Yeah.
Is it a lack of selling if he could do it in real fucking life? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Is it appropriate selling?
That's what drives me nuts. Just sit out for a little bit. Freaking recover. God.
He did. He's fucking superhuman.
No. You're supposed to come back in January.
That's a great. I would love to hear people's opinion of this. Is it a lack of selling if the guy can legitimately do it? I mean, come on. He is the gimmick, folks. I don't know.
Yeah, he is. He believes so much that he is that character that he has become it.
Oh, maybe he fucking is. I mean, I don't think he's not fucking Hal Jordan. He's not a Green Lantern. He's not willing himself to be. He fucking did it.
Yeah.
Yes, brother.
So good talk. Good talk. I'm gonna give you 5 on that one. That was good.
I felt like we kept it way civil. I think we debated. I don't necessarily know that we got anything accomplished in that.
Probably not.
But I think we kept it like pretty civil and like
tip of the hat, sir.
Yeah. A gentleman's duel.
You're a gentleman and a scholar. I appreciate that. Tyler, what do you think about it?
Yes.
Yes. Really? Okay. So John Cena ends up defeating Alberto Del Rio, becomes the new world heavyweight champion. Next up, we got to see, man, it's going to take us forever to get through this episode.
We're like an hour in.
Yeah. So run through, I guess. AJ Lee ends up defeating Brie Bella.
It happened.
Yeah, it did. And the main event of the evening, Randy Orton going up against Daniel Bryan with Shawn Michaels as special guest referee. Good start to the matchup. Kind of slowed down quite a bit in the middle towards the end, and then it just became a cluster. With Shawn Michaels and Triple H going back and forth, Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels going back and forth, and then Shawn Michaels taking the bump and then Daniel Bryan delivering the Kanishni to Triple H, which was missed. He missed it a little bit, and then Shawn Michaels delivering the missed Sweet Chin music to Daniel Bryan.
Oh my God, they are falling left and right, but they're not really getting hit.
Yeah, they're so close. But Randy Orton defeats Daniel Bryan to become your new WWE champion. So, what else?
Kind of like WTF at the end.
And I did chuckle a bit on Raw whenever they showed the super kick to Daniel Bryan, and they had photoshopped HBK's legs.
I totally noticed that. I was like, this is totally altered.
It's like the entire picture is fuzzy with the exception of his legs, which were clear.
They cut out like all the middle space and put him like right on the top.
Well, there's going to be some person in there who's like, dude, I was standing right next to that guy. Why am I not in this picture? I was right underneath Shawn Michaels' leg. So so they come out. Rolf kicks off. Cena delivers a promo about
Rolf kicks off?
Rolf kicks off, yes.
Rolf kicks off.
Yes.
Rolf.
So, Johnamite. So, Cena comes out, delivers a promo. Champ is here. Delivers his Boston accent. Boston accent.
No, he was like that. He was doing his rapper. Not rapping stuff, but like gangster.
Yeah, he was like decidedly more gangster.
Yeah. He was Thug Life. So, Word Life.
Which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah.
Which I like that song too.
So, it's basic thugonomics. But, so he comes out, delivers his normal type of passionate promo. And then Sandals comes out sporting a new variation of his theme song, by the way. In case y'all didn't catch it, I did. I've got the ear for it. So Sandow comes out, lays down a challenge to him. And as Sandow starts to leave, Cena pushes him. And that's what causes the attack from Sandow, delivering the...
Well, he saves some cash in. They didn't.
Yeah, he was like, I'm going to cash in some other night.
Yes.
And I bid you adieu.
It's basic thugging on.
So you think you're untouchable?
After he started beating him up, I thought he cashed in. I thought I was like, oh shit, he's gonna get commercial.
Yes, the weirdest time to go to a commercial
twice during that match.
3 times.
Well, they gave him a lot of
Twice, 3
time. To
times?
be honest.
Yeah. Well, they went. He attacked, called for a referee. Hey, Sandow's cashing in. Commercial.
Come back, he's in the ring.
It's so that the doctors could look at him, look at Cena. But it was just probably the worst time to go to a commercial.
Is that legit though? Are they like retroactively throwing that in now? Or?
Yeah, especially I would think so, especially since they were focusing so much on the doctor. Right. He's like, oh, is he okay? Oh, do I need to go in and check on him? Is he all right? Do I need to bring some ice? So I
thought it was anytime, anywhere, not.
Yeah, I'd like to see.
It's weird. It's like you find out rules of the case like as they happen.
Yeah,
like,
they
there's not like a clear guideline of how the case works.
Not at all. I would like to see, and this I was thinking this back in the hardcore title days. Okay, so bear with me on this one. I would have loved to see Raw kick off, and this is back in the Attitude Era. So like I said, bear with me. And whoever was the champion not be the champion. Like Raw kicks off, and just some random person walks in. Walks down the arena sporting the belt. Be like, what's up? How's it going? And, then the guy comes out, the previous champion. Hey, man, give me back my belt. You stole that from me. And be like, I don't think so. And we cut to the Titantron, and we have a camera crew, and the guy standing outside of his hotel room with a referee nearby gets the maid to open the door, quietly goes in. 1, 2, 3. Takes the belt out of his suitcase, hands it to him. And he'd be the new champion. That would be an interesting way to cash in the Money in the Bank as well.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
You like it or no?
24/7 rules.
Yeah. 24/7 rules. That's right. Anytime, anywhere. So don't have to have the ring set up.
It works.
It'd be pretty interesting. Anyways, the matchup itself, I felt was a really good showing for Sandow. I think this.
Yeah.
It's not going to damage him as much as people are thinking.
Was that his best match?
I think it might have been
without
that we have seen. Yeah. He put on a good show, and the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome."
I don't know where he goes from here unless it's going to eventually be
a
haunt three-way between Cena, Del Rio, and Sandow. What do you think?
Sandow has no purpose in being in the title chase now.
After he got beat.
Yeah. So
he has no claim.
Yeah. So
unless they still just bugs him.
Yeah, unless this haunts him and he finds a way to, like I said earlier, just
it's a little bit of a mean streak.
Keep attacking Cena whenever his guard is down. Other than that, who knows? But I don't know. I don't know where they're going with it right now. But Cena ended up getting the victory, and that took us backstage to the Shield, who were delivering a promo about the night before about Big E Langston and how Roman and Seth underestimated their Langston, I think it was. Were they talking about Langston, or were they talking about the tag match? Like both. Anyways, Dean Ambrose makes the smirky little comment about how at least he still has his championship title, and that gets some pretty interesting looks from Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Yeah, instantly you're like, oh, there it is. That's the moment that we're getting ready to see some cracks.
I think it's just the seed.
It's the seed. Hey, man.
It's the seed of doubt.
I have theories about stuff, and I'll tell you when we get further into Raw about stuff. Maybe involve the Shield.
So insightful.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and talk about it? Because we can.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and talk about it.
What if the Shield, there's a seed of doubt where they're going to break up, and I have a feeling that the Wyatt family is working for the McMahons, and they're doing all the stuff for them, and Kane's with the Wyatt family, and it's working with them and all that stuff. So what if the Shield?
Kane's not with the Wyatts, though. He established that.
He's saying what if down the road they announce it.
Feeling like he might be controlled, or he's with them, because if the Wyatts are being told what to do by the McMahons, because they said the devil is making them do it.
But why? But why would he attack them on his return though? If he's with them, is what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that was still the part like to trick people. Like, hey, he's not with them, but he is.
Okay.
Good insight. Good talk. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, we got to see the Shield promo.
Maybe they have do you mean like they have mind control on them and they're like just waiting to trigger it or something? I could see that.
On who?
About mind control. But I'm just saying that like they have something on him or over. I don't know. Maybe mind control, but just it seems like 'cause I know I'm skipping forward. Oh well. But when he said that Stephanie was like, "Oh, y'all are running this place." So what he said, y'all are evil and y'all have done some bad stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm here for y'all to use or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know if he's
commit to it, Tyler.
Something with like the Wyatt family. I don't know. I feel like there's some sort of connection.
Okay. Okay. The devil's favorite demon is controlling the Wyatt family.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, next up, we got to see Dean Ambrose going up against Big E Langston in what was supposed to be a rematch for their match at Hell in a Cell. Ends up ending in a disqualification after the Shield decide to attack Langston all at once. And then the Usos come out to make the save, hold up a minute playa. Brad Maddox is out. 6-man tag match. So Shield going up against Big E Langston and the Usos. Another good match with the Usos and the Shield going back and forth. The Shield ended up getting the victory after a double spear from Roman Reigns, whose spears are just sickening. What did you guys think about it?
Well, it was a fun match.
Yeah. I'm liking the tag division right now. I'm glad that they're starting to put more focus on it.
Hopefully it stays like that.
Yeah. It's tough because they're getting so many teams now, and they can only focus so much time on the improvements, I guess. I don't know. But next up, we got to see HBK coming out. And by the way, all that took place in the
HB Shizzle.
HB Shizzle. That's right. So this is how we start off the second hour. The first hour I thought was just excellent. They did, they had a lot of action. They didn't draw things out too long. It was just, really spot on. So they kick off the second hour.
The whole show was really, they shuffled the deck big time.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we're mixing shit up. We're establishing new feuds tonight. And it was pretty exciting to see.
Yeah, it was a very good show. So HB Shizzle came out and asked for Daniel Bryan to come out.
HBK Izzle.
So so that he could explain to Daniel Bryan what had happened, saying, well, when you've had a best friend as long as I have, that's something that's never gonna die, and blah 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 blah. You should shake my hand and accept my apology. But Daniel Bryan was having none of that, shaking his head no. The fans chanting no. Fans also chanting, you sold out, you screwed Bryan, just all kind of stuff. So it was a positive sign for Daniel Bryan to show how much the crowd is really behind him. And it was also sort of a, recalling to you screwed Brett, which HBK has had to deal with for way too long. So,
you screwed Bryan.
Eventually, HBK showed sort of heelish emotions, saying, look, man, I've paid my dues. I put in my time. And
little puke.
Yeah, pretty much. So, you're going to shake my hand and accept my apology.
You're going to call me Shizzle, goddammit.
No. No.
You call me HB Shizzle.
No.
He goes to shake his hand and ends up throwing HBK into the yes lock and making HBK tap out.
I think the important thing to take away from this is that
Bryan is uber over.
Yeah, that's the larger, broader point. But I think the thing to take away from this specifically is that Bryan got the crowd to turn on HBK without saying a word and before HBK started acting like a heel.
Yes.
Before HBK really presented that he deserved it and
shake my hand, you puke.
Yeah, before he even started acting like a heel and without saying one word, Bryan got the crowd to turn on HBK.
Yeah.
Which is pretty astounding. I mean, I don't know.
It's pretty impressive.
It's really fucking,
especially with with the career that HBK has, the legacy and all that. Like,
well,
for them to just be able to,
he comes back and says stupid shit like shizzle, and he still gets voted. They voted for him. That's who they wanted. He doesn't even know how Izzle works. He thinks he tries to act way hipper than he is, and like people are like, "Yep, that's the guy we want." And Brian flipped the fucking crowd on him.
I love the fact that after the Hell in a Cell matchup, Booker T sent out the tweet saying, "If y'all had voted for me, this would not have happened."
Right.
We support you, Booker. So, but yeah, so the crowd turning on HBK just on a dime. They, Brian's their boy.
I felt for a long time, I felt like this is too like doom and gloom for Brian. They have to give him some hope, and and like I was down on the finish. I was down on them not putting the belt on Brian here. I had some feelings that it was possibly going to get drug out for like a longer story arc with Brian before he's won the belt twice, really, but I mean before he gets to keep it. But every time, like, I feel like, man, how can you not? Why are you hesitating to put the belt on your most universally over guy? Why not just put the belt on him and be done with it? And then I get kind of down on it, and then I was like, well, then they give him his heat right fucking back by making him tap Sean in the fucking label lock, and people are like, okay, he didn't lose any fucking heat over it. The crowd still fucking like ate shit up, but I think there is something to be said for striking while the iron is hot. It's like you don't want to wait so long that
the crowd doesn't care anymore.
Right, they lose interest, and I do worry about that.
Yeah,
I'm okay because they keep every time I'm like, oh god damn it, why won't they just? And then they give me like hope with something like that, and then I'm like, okay, well I'm fine. He'll be all right, but just hopefully they don't wait too long.
So did you think that coming into Raw that Brian had lost that steam until this point?
I wasn't for certain, but I felt like people were going to be like, okay, too much doom and gloom. Let the guy get some.
Like all of the stuff, like we talked about last week, everything that they've built up has just been tossed out the window.
Right. Well, it's weird because it really feels like
the bad guys won.
Well, they did, and that's not necessarily like. I mean, that's kind of the problem, and then also not kind of the problem. I mean, they very clearly feels like they're shifted gears right here. Like, it's clear that to me, it feels clear that Brian's out of the title picture. Like that was done as a way to segue into a different feud,
right?
Which I don't know,
Yeah.
I mean, is he gonna lose steam feuding with Bray Wyatt? Or I mean, okay, Bray Wyatt attacked Punk. Not to jump too far ahead, but did it feel like to you like it was made to segue like Brian out of the main event scene?
Yes.
And I think that's what's happening. I mean, I don't know. Like, what are you gonna do, Punk and Brian versus the Wyatts?
But that's I don't know unless they're also gonna do. Sorry,
I don't know.
Because
I mean, that's not really I don't know. Punk and Brian teaming together, I don't think loses anybody in this team. I think people are gonna be like lining up to fucking.
Internet would be like, oh.
Yeah, but I feel like they can't just like shut that stuff down because he did that to HBK. So
where was his best friend Triple H?
Triple H may retaliate, but I don't know. Like that's why I feel like.
Well, I feel like they're transitioning into Big Show's getting the next shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that because he's probably the second most over guy in this storyline. So even though there are only two guys really over on that, so but yeah, so backstage afterwards, the Wyatt family did attack Daniel Bryan. Bray Wyatt saying the devil made me do it, and Daniel Bryan had to be taken to a local facility to be checked out.
We've talked
medical facility.
We've talked for a while now about how the Wyatts have like little to no direction. Is this direction that makes you? Do you consider this direction, and if so, are you high on it or low on it?
I don't know yet, because at first I was watching it, I was like, why? Why are they attacking Daniel Bryan? What do they have against him? And then, then later in the night, it was like CM Punk. I'm like, why are they attacking CM Punk now all of a sudden? Like, what happened with their little worthless feud with the Miz all of a sudden.
Well, they were like, oh, this is fucking worthless.
Yeah. So
we're better than this.
Yeah. So let's go after the big dogs. I don't.
So do you feel like, because even when they announced the voting for the app for the Ryback Punk match, I was like, fucking no, I thought they blew this off last night.
Right.
But do you think this was also meant to transition Punk out of the Heyman shit?
Yeah, I think so. But
do you really think they're gonna do like both of them feuding with the Wyatts?
See, that's what I don't know.
It feels like a weird thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless there's something bigger that we don't realize.
I mean, who better to get the Wyatts over than Punk and Bryan for one thing? But then also, like, it feels like nobody's gonna shit on Punk and Bryan as a team either. So like, it feels like you can't lose, but it feels like weird at the same time. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's odd.
So
it feels weird to get Daniel Bryan out of the main event picture.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, he's gonna get the belt. Yeah, he did get the belt twice and got off like super quick. But it's like
a day and a minute.
He needs to. We felt like he needs to have the belt for a while.
Yeah. Let him see how he can do if he runs with the ball. So
almost like too much firepower in one place.
Unless they're like, hey, Cena's coming back and
yeah. So anyways, the next matchup we got to see Los Matadores going up against 3MB in a 2-on-3 handicap match. Los Matadores end up getting the victory. These guys have faced each other several times over the past few weeks, so nothing really new here. So what?
Give me a soda.
Well, what did you think about the matchup? Los Matadores. Now that we've seen these guys for a few weeks, how do you feel about them?
I like the moves. I like them. I like the feel of them, but like we said a while back, I don't know how far they're gonna go.
Right. Like they're not gonna be one of those, top tier.
Oh my God, let's go see. They're not gonna go that far, and they're just gonna be goofy.
They're gonna be stuck in that little area, which
that's bad. Which I think they can get out of it, but also have a feeling that they're not. At the same time, like, because I love the stuff they do and all that stuff. It's just.
I think their presentation is very entertaining. I love their entrances. I love that they have that tag team chemistry where they do moves together instead of just, oh, I'll tag you in and I'll get out, or I'll stomp him for a little bit. It's like, no, we're gonna have like some sort of chemistry here, which they did as Epico and Primo. And as far as being sort of stuck in that rut, I'm fine with that. You gotta have those. They had them in the past,
but just don't go down from there.
Yeah, I mean it's fine to keep them up. So my problem is what they're doing with 3MB. Like, are they just there to lose? I mean, because like that's it. That's all they're gonna be. As long as these three guys are together, they're
for
just
now
gonna be known as the losers, the John Squad.
For now, I mean, I've actually come around on 3MB, and I kind of actually rather enjoy them now.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're kind of like a bright spot for me. I'm like, oh.
Who are they losing to tonight?
I'm fine with it, though. I don't know. I thought this match was fun. Honestly, I thought they were going to let Torito tag, and I thought it was going to be 3-3. I was like, that's awesome. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Did they announce it as a handicap match, or they're just like, okay?
Yeah, it was a 2-on-3.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it would have been rad if they let Torito tag with them.
With a giant net. So
I thought it was real. It was real like Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd, but but I was okay with it. So, I don't need everything to be super serious,
right? You got to have that entertainment value.
Yeah, I thought it was cool, and to be honest, like I've come way, I've 180'd on 3MB. I'm fine with them. They are there just to lose right now, and that's.
It's a sad place to be for them, but
no, I mean I think you can take pride in your job and like do that slot like really well. Like, I mean, they can take pride in like being entertaining at the spot that they have. You know what I mean? And I think that's fine.
Okay. So, so Los Matadores end up getting the victory over 3MB, and then they threw the giant bull net, as they called it, over Heath Slater. Next up, we got to see AJ and Tamina going up against the Bella Twins.
Hey, and, I'm going to make them win a lot in WWE 2K14.
Who, 3MB?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have fun with that. So yeah, AJ and Tamina going up against the Bellas.
Is it a Superman thing, or is it just I'm ripping my shirt thing with Axel?
I don't know. There's no telling.
Or, hey, this looks cool, so I'm going to do this.
He doesn't look cool.
Oh, he thinks that.
So, yeah. What do you guys think about the Divas tag match? It was more of a showcase for Tamina, I think. What did you guys think?
Kind of has been trending that way.
Yeah. Tyler?
Get her to back in the... I don't know if she was in the groove at first. Like, they showed her off for a little bit, then they took her away. No.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm glad that they brought her back and showcasing her a little bit. She's the tough one.
Who do you guys think is going to be the next competitor, the number one contender for the Divas Championship? JoJo.
No.
She's going to return for her
Summer
first
Rae.
match.
No.
Right.
Not Summer Rae.
I'm just joking.
I don't know.
Natty.
Bring someone in.
I could see them doing Natty, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Divas, and speaking of Natty more specifically, did you guys see the teaser trailer for, like, the return of...
Total Divas.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
No.
I
They
did.
showed it. And I gotta say, I was like, all right, I'm pretty excited. I think it's, like, not this...
Do I need to add the theme song here?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it's coming back in a few, like, what, next week or the week after?
One after.
All right.
Same with Thor.
Yeah. Well, so much shit we have to do that weekend. Total Divas and Thor. Nice. But
Good
like
combo.
more specifically,
Yeah.
like in the teaser trailer, they showed Natty like rolling around in the ring with Fandango, and it's like kind of sensual, and they're like giggling and flirting, and TJ's like, "That's my wife." Like, what the fuck? Yeah. So like, what the fuck is up with it? It's like they're like obsessed with like showing Natalya as this like super like promiscuous chick, and like he's always like
Promiscuous girl.
You
wherever
tease
you are.
me. Got what you wait. How's it go? Got
I know what
got
you want and I got what you need.
promiscuous boy. We should play out. We should fade out to a promiscuous girl tonight.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, we're doing it.
So anyway,
Roses are red, some violets are blue. Chivalry is dead, but she's still kind of cute. I don't know how the fuck it goes.
We'll do it.
girl, I don't think you should be saying those things. So anyways, Natalya being a little bit promiscuous.
Yeah, that was my point.
Oh,
Like that's her gimmick on Total Divas.
okay. Anything else for the premiere?
That was like
I know
that's what stuck out at me.
Eva Marie was talking trash. Those veteran girls better watch out.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, look out for what? Your bad
Big
wrestling
news,
and
someone gets released at the
terrible-
end of the season.
terrible dancing skills and all that.
I don't know. What stuck out to me is that like they're like, hey, this is Natalya. She's trying to fuck all the dudes.
Even Hornswoggle.
She wants all the D. So
All the D.
so November 10th,
Something
something like that. So that would make Friday the 8th, which is when Thor comes out,
Correct.
which we'll have to go see. Have either of y'all gone to see Bad Grandpa yet?
Nope.
I want to try and go and see that. Maybe this week I can. Yes. So we'll make it rain. So AJ and Tamina end up defeating the Bellas.
I'm a little worried. Like Total Divas is back, and Walking Dead is back, and we got pay-per-views every so often. So
Well, there's only one for November, so we don't have to. You don't have to worry about that.
Movember.
You're good. You're good to go. I think. So, anyways, next
what
up
do you
we
mean?
got
There's
this-
only one for November?
only one pay-per-view
Well, yeah.
for WWE at least. So yeah. So next up, you got to see Kane going up against Miz in a 2-minute squash fest. And then he called out Stephanie McMahon, telling her how awful she is and blah blah blah. But
The
that's best for business. And so the monster is yours to unleash. And he removed his mask and gave it to her.
With
and
his
walked
hair.
off. Yeah, with his hair, and walked off. So, what do you guys make of that?
That was totally weird.
Corporate
Is he
Kane.
gonna like come back out again with like no mask?
Yes. He is Corporate Kane once again.
Corporate.
Corporate Kane. That's right. So yeah. So next up, we got to see a backstage segment with the primetime players trying to outsell R-Truth, giving you all kind of special deals. Are they making this a thing now?
I believe so, because Truth was talking about how he wanted to be the best salesman. Primetime players were talking about how they wanted to be the best salesman.
You want to make
salesmen.
millions of dollars.
I assume that we'll get someone else.
So we'll have to tune in next week and see who the salesman of the day will be.
Bob Backlund.
Oh, God. Speaking of Bob Backlund at Hell in a
screen
Cell.
cap of them, of them with Bob Backlund.
One of the little GIFs.
Yeah.
Of them doing the millions of dollars.
Have you seen one with him in them?
I have not.
Oh.
But I will keep an eye out for it.
Link me up to it when you see it.
So next up, the stars were out because we got to see David Otunga on WWE programming. Haven't seen him in a while.
Stars are out, man.
Offering legal advice. Well, not
Why are you
offering
hating on
legal.
Otunga?
I know. What's
He's
the
not
deal?
a star.
He's married to Jennifer Hudson.
He's in movies.
He was in The Call with Halle Berry.
Sorry.
He's got Halle Berry's phone number.
Yeah. He gave it to Kane. Remember?
He did. I saw that.
So Otunga, talking about the trial or the lawsuit that Big Show filed against the McMahon and Helmsleys, and basically said, "Oh, this case is going to be worth millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars." Then next up, CM Punk came out, talked about how he slept like a baby, and finally his feud with Paul Heyman is done and it's over, and he cemented his legacy. So this is the career defining moment. Yeah. So and it was time to see
You're saying yeah or
yeah. No. So it was time to find out what type of matchup he and Ryback were going to have, and the fans chose a street fight. They fought each other, and CM Punk ended up getting the victory. So Ryback loses another one. And then the Wyatt family decided to come out and attack CM Punk, claiming the devil made me do it. So I guess we'll have to find out who the devil is as we roll on in weeks. Yeah. So next up, we got to see the Real Americans going up against Cody Rhodes and Goldust in a non-title matchup. Pretty good matchup between these two teams. Real Americans ended up getting the victory on this one. Anything to take away from it? Pretty good matchup. Fine. It was fine. So,
shut your whore mouth.
Oh, am I stealing your lines? WNS podcast. It was fine. So, next up, we got to see Alberto Del Rio.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes. Y'all got a lot of fucking room to talk.
This guy.
You guys have employed your catchphrases for much fucking longer than I have.
Nope.
This guy right here has been using his catchphrase longer than Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan stole the catchphrase from this guy.
Yes.
And we have the shirt to prove it.
Yes.
WNS podcast in quotations.
I dropped the yes.
You did for a while.
Still
you let Brian share it.
You can have it.
No. We need
podcast.
We're going to claim royalties on this one. We're going to get a nice fancy lawsuit out of this. It's going to be worth millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So Alberto Del Rio comes out and cuts a promo on Cena saying he's going to hurt him, and Cena's more hurt than he's letting on. Main event time, Natalya going up against Summer Rae. Whatever. Natalya ended up getting the victory.
Loses.
And then we had the Randy Orton celebration, and it sounded like Randy Orton had strep throat or sore throat, or he was sick or something, because, this title that he won. So,
a little bit of drainage.
Huh? Drainage, yeah. So, celebration gets cut short when Big Show, who was barred from the arena, decides to walk out through the entrance ramp with his theme music going. Basically saying, hey, I've got friends in high places. I don't care if I get arrested. I've got friends who will bail me out. Blah, 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 blah. Knocks out Randy Orton. End of show.
Why don't they just loan him some money if he's got so many fucking friends who want to throw some money around?
Right? It's just... And not to mention, for someone who's fired, he's got a new shirt available on shop.wwe.com.
He's supported by Vince McMahon.
Yep. That's probably what
Vince
it's going to end up
McMahon
being.
didn't like Daniel Bryan, so
No,
we want to make sure Big Show.
He's okay with the big guys,
Yeah,
so
big
why not
guys.
go big? So there you go. Anything?
No.
Okay. So time to move.
No.
Say it like you're Darth Vader, no, or something.
I have no idea why I did that. I don't fucking know.
Okay, so we do have some hot topics for this week. WWE 2K14, as we talked about earlier today, has been released, so go and get your copy ASAP.
Get your boy.
And maybe we can set up a time where, you know, we'll give out Tyler's gamer tag or something, and y'all can schedule a date night or something. Game night. So
Free.
oh God, not that. I hate that. I hate that commercial so much.
Get your boy.
Ever started with that? Free.
Stupid car commercial. So apparently the Carter family, it's rumored that they're looking into possible buyers of TNA.
That's the word.
That is the word, Bird. So, you know, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
Not surprised.
I mean, I'm a little surprised, but I shouldn't be, just because, like, even people with, like, millions of dollars to throw around, like, get tired of losing money after a while. So
Yeah. So, all right. And final bit of hot topic news for you guys. Chris Benoit's eldest son is reportedly looking to become a wrestler. He's in the process of training right now. So do you guys think that WWE would ever give him a shot, even if they changed his name, just knowing, you know, the history?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That is, you know, that's a tough one. Because I saw a picture of him. He looks just like Chris Benoit. And
Wow.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's still a taboo topic. You know, I know they say, oh, he's not banned. We just don't talk about him. So it's like,
I think that's a fair position.
yeah. And so
Even if they do pick him up or whatever, they're gonna change his name for
well,
sure.
you know, obviously, but you
They
know,
won't say he's the son of.
yeah, they might say, oh, he's a second generation superstar or something like that. But other than that, I don't know. But
I find it weird because it seems like his biggest plus is also his biggest minus.
right.
Like, his best chance of, like, going somewhere is by exploiting the fact that he's Benoit's son, and his biggest, like, setback will be the fact that he's Benoit's son. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but he does seem to have, you know, some people training him and sort of giving him tips, like Chris Jericho, David Boy Smith, just to name a few. So, you know, who knows? We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that all plays out in future years. So, so there you go. Time to move into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. First question coming to us.
You mean Junior, right?
Huh?
You mean David Smith Jr.?
Yes. Sorry. So first question coming to us from Ben saying, with TNA up for sale, do you guys think that WWE may buy it and bring in some of the talent? Or do you think another smaller company such as Ring of Honor would bring in TNA talents?
Maybe the Fed would pick up their library. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would assume the Fed would pick up their library eventually, just because they pick up everyone's video library that sells eventually. As far as Ring of Honor, I think, like, the thing to think about with Ring of Honor is they're already owned by Sinclair, which has a lot of money, and Sinclair doesn't give Ring of Honor a lot of money to operate on. They just don't. They just don't. You can watch the product and tell that Sinclair does not invest as a lot of money in Ring of Honor. They don't. They have it because it's low overhead and they fine with having wrestling on their programming. But they do not put a lot of money into it, so I can't see them paying, you know, any kind of reasonable amount of money to any of these guys or to own any part of it.
Right.
I mean, that being said, there's always talk of a lot of the lower tier or a lot of the TNA guys could do better for themselves on the independents if they really bust their ass and take a lot of bookings, because they would make more on a per appearance basis than they would if under contract, just working. So it's kind of like an exposure versus money type thing.
Right.
So I don't know. Like the Fed, yeah, I can see them picking up the library. I don't think Ring of Honor has ex-TNA guys, but clearly, but you know, I don't know.
Here's an odd scenario that popped in my head about this. what if, because they say competition is better for everybody, hypothetically speaking, just complete fantasy talk. What if WWE secretly, I know it probably wouldn't happen because they're, trade in the New York stock and all that. But what if
not acknowledge it.
Yeah, don't acknowledge WWE acquires TNA and they help fund and they send some of their guys over there to help, in a sense, fix the issue that needs to be, work on it. Build TNA up a certain, their own way, but make it a little bit different. Like sort of go back to the, the older days of TNA at the, stronger point of its popularity. And then, it gets them better ratings so that WWE has to step up their game a little bit. And, they kind of just build off of each other.
Well, 2 points, like, it's literally impossible to compete with yourself.
Yeah.
But, so you really can't. You can't foster a competition against yourself. I mean, you could split some of your capital and your resources between your WWE branded shows and your TNA branded shows, but you literally can't compete against yourself. So you're not really fostering a competitive environment, because a true competitive, like, you need to actually be competing against something to try and bring your best game.
Right.
But as far as if they wanted to try to pull off something like that, they had a much better chance of doing that with WCW, which was a much, much bigger thing than TNA has ever been. I feel like if they were going to do that, if they had any interest in doing anything like that ever, they probably would have pulled the trigger with WCW and not TNA.
How about you, Tyler?
I don't see like how they could do it the way you're fantasy booking, but I would think those two, WWE would buy it.
Yeah, that way they could, if WWE did end up purchasing it, they would be able to, sort of give a good Kurt Angle story, and
that they would also. What would that mean? They would mean that they would get TNA, and would they like? What would happen to the people in their developmental system for TNA? Does that mean they go to WWE's developmental?
I don't know. It'd be
because
interesting to see. I'm sure they'd be given an option.
The old WWE developmental area, that's TNA's OVW.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like, what if they turned to TNA into sort of like their, step up from developmental, sort of like how they have NXT. I guess you could call it the minor league. I don't know.
I mean, I think they're like you said, they're doing what they want to do with NXT like that way. I mean, I don't. Let's just be. I mean, let's cut the bullshit. About as many people probably know about NXT as TNA. I mean, like, what is the fucking upside of using TNA? There is no upside of TNA.
You get a few. Names.
Just get a few names, a few guys that ever had before. Or I mean, well, they would get if Sting's still part of it. But I mean, I'm talking about
wasn't AJ Styles' contract just up a little bit ago? If WWE had any fucking interest, they would have signed him.
Yeah.
How many times has Samoa Joe renewed a contract? If the Fed wanted him, they would have fucking signed Samoa Joe 10 times over by now. Yeah. I mean, what are they getting?
Weren't they supposed to? Was there talks about they were going to get one of the Motor City Machine Guns?
Yeah.
You think if Kurt Angle, if they didn't want Kurt Angle back, he wouldn't come back in a fucking heartbeat? I mean, he talks about like all the lighter schedule. He's happy with working lighter schedule. That's what they do with all those guys now. Jericho, RVD, all those guys work that schedule. Yeah. Kurt Angle could too. If he wanted to come, if they wanted him back, he could be back like fucking that.
Yeah.
I mean, all those guys, people talk about getting the roster. There's no upside to they could have had any one of those guys 100 times over. The only exception being Sting. I think Sting plays hard to get because he likes playing hard to get. Mm-hmm. Let's just be honest. I mean, I think he's just playing hard to get.
So
like,
there'd be two things: Sting and then getting the video library. They don't really care about. I guess
Sting in the library is what you get out of TNA. And I don't know. Is that?
And that's if Sting even wants to.
Sting just likes the satisfaction of saying he's the only guy who said no to Vince.
Right.
He's the only big WCW guy that never has been.
You guys think he ever would show up in WWE? I know they said a couple years ago he was close, quotes, but
I like cutting all the bullshit aside, I think he likes knowing that he's the guy who said no to Vince. Mm-hmm. But that being said, and it's just life. I'm not talking shit like money talks. If the guy needed money, he'd sign with him in a fucking heartbeat. I mean, if he truly needed money, like you know,
my mortgage is up.
Yeah, I mean, he would sign with him. I mean, like,
okay. All right. Well, thank you for the question. Final question coming to us from Skylar saying, after watching Cena retain the World Heavyweight Championship against Sandow with a hurt arm, how long do you guys think Cena can hold on to the title?
I don't understand the question. Is this like in kayfabe sense?
How long of a title run do you think Cena will be given? You think it'll be long, short?
I'm gonna say this is. I think they have good greener plans at work here. I'm gonna say it's a long reign.
Okay. Drop it at Mania.
Unified at Mania. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's weird to put the SmackDown belt on him. And let's just cut the bullshit and be real. It's the fucking SmackDown belt.
Yeah.
It's weird to put the SmackDown belt on Cena. It's not the 1B title. It's not like 1A, 1B title. It's the clear cut number 2 title.
Yeah.
There's no pretense about that. It's
remember when SmackDown used to be the show to watch? Like you'd watch Raw for the entertainment, and then you watch SmackDown for the wrestling.
You can still get good wrestling on SmackDown.
Just not as much, and then you get nothing but like Raw recaps.
They've always had that.
Yeah.
It's just the ratings.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's weird. I don't know why you put the second tier title on Cena unless you're
trying to raise the value of the title again.
No, they could make it appear equal if they wanted to.
He needs to hold the belts, both those belts, equally an equal amount of times.
He's held the
WWE and World Heavyweight.
He's been champion like 14 times now. You guys think he'll surpass Flair?
Nope.
No. He seems to still have some years left in him.
I think it's possible. I think that most people think of that as that's the Flair thing.
Yeah.
So like that's
kind of like the Undertaker streak.
That's the Flair thing. So I think they're careful of not letting anyone jump out ahead of him. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of out of good graces, but he's kind of always in and out of good graces. So I mean, as long as
Triple H is being in charge.
As long as Triple H is there, I think he's okay.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. So thank you for your questions. We do appreciate it. Go ahead and submit your questions on our YouTube page, WNS Video, also our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. You can also check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com and WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook, and subscribe to us on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
WNS Podcast on Twitter for us, and WN Source for the main site.
Hey, we're also on Stitcher. Go check us out over there. If you want to compete in our contest to win a shirt, it is due by Tuesday, November 12th, by about 6 p.m. Central. We need you to make a promo for Tyler Aber's creator wrestler John Dynamite. John-O-Mite. We need to in your it can be a YouTube video or an audio file. Somewhere where we can hear you cutting the promo. We want you can cut it on whoever you want. It can be as long as you want. We need you to name his finisher and use it in your promo. And we need you to come up with a catchphrase that you use in the promo as well. Doesn't have to be kaboom or kapow. We were just saying that a lot.
Kapow! Pow!
Yeah, so we don't have any larges left, so if that's a problem, then don't go through all the work for nothing. And if you already have a shirt, then you're not winning anything, so no need to compete either. But if you want a shirt, then
this is your chance.
Yeah, we're gonna pick one winner, and
la voz de la John Dynamite.
So keep in mind he's if you need something to get you in character, to get you in the mind frame of John Dynamite.
John Dynamite.
Think Matt Hardy pants. Think white boy dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Think stolen moves of RVD and Jeff Hardy.
Dude.
That was in the past.
He's evolving, so if you want to...
It'll still be on his DVD.
Right. The best of John Dynamite 3-disc set.
And Blu-ray.
What you need to do is you need to go on all your old games and take a picture of each of the evolutions of John Dynamite, and we'll put them all together in one big collage.
Let's do it.
And we'll knock that out.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. So there you go. So get to work, folks. We certainly would appreciate it. I know, you know, for those who would like a free T-shirt, hey, you know, that's all you got to do.
Hey, it doesn't matter where you are. I'll ship it anywhere.
Yeah. So there you go. So get to work, subscribe, leave us some comments, let us know how you think of the show. For the podcast crew, I am Dane O'Hara.
I'm Tyler Aber.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.